Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'll be showing you how to concatenate the contents of two files as a kernel level process. And as I have already said in my previous videos, it is always better to use a virtual environment for making changes to your kernel. Okay, so let's start. Let's open our text editor first. Let's save the file as kernel concat.c on the desktop itself. Okay, so now let's include all the header files that we need. Okay, so we'll need linux/kernel.h, then we will need, let's copy paste this first, we will need linux/module.h, we will need linux/syscalls.h for the system calls, we will need file.h because we'll be dealing with files, we will need fs.h, we will need fcntl.h. Okay, and finally we will need asm/uaccess.h. Okay, so now let's start with the main code. As you've seen in my previous videos, the basic template will be the same. Okay, so let's write the basic function of concatenation. Static void read file, let's give the name as read file. Okay, and let's give the parameters as the files that we are going to read. So let's give it as file path 1 for the first file, and char star file path 2. Okay, so let's just create the files as variables. Struct file star f1, struct file star f2, struct file star f3. So basically what we'll be doing is we'll be reading the contents of file 1 and file 2 and concatenating both of them and giving the output into file 3. Okay, so let's make a buffer, char buffer. Okay, so then we'll have to use this. Don't worry too much about these, we'll just need them as default. Okay, so now let's read our files. These are the commands to read the files. File path1, this is the path that we have given as the argument here. Okay, so file path1 comma o underscore rdwr s underscore irusr. These will be same while we are reading the files in the kernel level. Okay, we'll do the same thing for the second file as well. We'll read the second file. Okay, then here we'll give the path for the third file directly, file p underscore open. We'll give the path of the file. Okay, first let's create a file somewhere. Okay, so let's open a new text editor, or we can just do this. Okay, so let's write hello in this first file. We'll create all the three files that are required. Okay, so hi or hello. Okay, so this will be our first file. Let's save this on the desktop as file read1. Okay, so this will be our file read1. Let's create another one as world and save it as file read2 on the desktop itself. Okay, and let's create the file into which we are going to print the concatenated version or concatenated part. We'll just save this as an empty file, file write. Okay, so let's save this on the desktop itself, and this is saved. So we'll need the path for this file because here we are directly including the path. File write is what we've named it. Let's go to the properties, copy the path, okay, so this is the path of the file into which we are going to write the concatenated content. Now we'll give these same other arguments. Yeah, so we are opening all the three files now, and now what we have to do is we'll write an if condition. If is error. So if we get an error in opening any of the three files, we will throw an error. Okay, so or is error f2. So if we get error in opening any of these files, or if any of these files or file paths are invalid, we will print an error, is underscore error of f3. Okay, we will be printing an error saying could not open the files. Okay, so as I've told you previously also, print k is the print command for the kernel level printing. Okay, so we'll close this if statement, else print open the files. Okay, let's close the if loop, else loop. Okay, okay, so let's close the else statement. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to read the content of the file 1 or of the first file. We'll be using a do while loop here. Okay, so now we'll have to write this part to the third file or the right file. We write it into the file. Okay, so we've written the contents of the first file into the third file. Okay, now we just do the same thing for the second file. So we just replace f1 by f2 and that's it. So after this we just have to close the files that we've opened. So we'll be doing filp underscore close f1 comma null. Similarly we do for all the three files. We close all the three files. Now just like in a normal C program we write the main function, we'll have to write the main kind of function here, which will be our init function. Underscore underscore init void read file this is basically the function that we've defined above. So what are the two files that we've created that we want to concatenate, file read 1 and file read 2. So we'll just copy the file locations of these files and pass them as the arguments into this function. We can just copy the same thing because both of them are on the desktop only. We just change the name of the file. Okay, so just we'll close this bracket, and because this is an int type function, we return 0. Okay, and we'll have to write the final exit module, static void underscore underscore exit. Okay, exit void module underscore init of init and module underscore exit of exit. Okay, so this is our program and the program is complete. We'll just save this. Okay, so let me just summarize the whole thing once. What we are basically doing is we are reading the contents of file 1 into the buffer and reading the contents of file 2 into the buffer, and from the buffer we are writing the contents into the file 3. So for people who don't know what a Makefile is, please do refer to the video whose link is given in the description. From that video you'll get to know what a Makefile is and what insmod and all such kind of commands do while we are including our module into the kernel. Okay, so this is our Makefile and we are just making the change in the name of the file. So the name of our file was kernel concat, so we'll just replace the name of this file by kernel concat. Okay, so that's it. We'll have to save this. Okay, now open a terminal and cd desktop, because both our Makefile and our program file are on the desktop itself. And let's give the command make. Okay, so all our required files are created here on the desktop, and okay, so there are no errors now and our program is compiled properly. So let's do the insmod command, which I've also explained you in the first video of this series. So please do refer to that video if you don't know what the command insmod does. You have to give .ko. So our program is now included in our kernel. It is a kernel module now. So now let's do dmessage to see what our output is. Okay, our files have been opened, and now let's go and check in our file, in our write file. Our concatenated content is there, and yes, our concatenated content is there. The hello was from our first file while our world is from the second file. So the concatenated content hello world is written into our third file. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe. If this video was of some help to you, please do mention in the comment section below. Thank you.